Hey everybody, welcome back to Laptop Seniors. Today we're going to solve a problem that so many people have, probably you. We've had it a bunch of times. And that problem is you have airline miles, you have hotel points, you have other kind of points, things that you've amassed, accumulated over the years or whatever, but they're not enough to do anything with, and then they expire. And you go like, that sucks. Then you got to do it all over again to try to get it going. And that may take forever, or it ends up happening again and again and again. Today we're going to solve that. I'm going to give you 5 ways so that that just doesn't happen anymore. One, it could be simply that they just never expire. That's one way. Show you how to do that. But also there's ways where you can take that expiry date and you push it out another year or 2 years, depending on how a particular airline program or hotel program works. So let's get into it. This is the first one. This is the one that makes airline miles or hotel points or other things like that simply not ever expire. And that is if you get their branded credit card. Let's just say it's United Airlines or American Airlines or Airline for Air Canada or something like that. If you have a credit card that's theirs or it's affiliated with them, sometimes it would be an Amex card, but it would be an Amex card for United Airlines or for Air Canada Aeroplan or for Aer Lingus or whatever. They have them all over the world. You have one of those credit cards, as long as that credit card is active, your points will never ever expire. Now the downside of that is usually those cards are at least $100, okay? You got to pay $95 a year for the card. So trade-off. However, on the other side of that is almost always if you have one of those cards and you fly on that airline and book with that card, you buy your ticket with that card, which why wouldn't you get extra points? Almost always your luggage is free. So, if you have 2 people flying one way and then back again, that almost always is more than the $100 that you have to pay for the card. And if you have a family of 4, well, then you're earning money by having the card. Number 2 is where you do not have a co-branded card, but you have a credit card that allows you to transfer points into the airlines or into the hotel programs. Now, a lot of cards do it, some cards don't, but the major companies, Chase does it, Citibank does it, Amex does it, so does Capital One cards if you get the Venture or the Venture X. Other cards, and Bilt cards do it, and I'll tell you about that in just a second. That's even one more step beyond. But if you have one of those kind of cards, you're earning, say, Chase points, okay? That's what you're earning. You're not earning any airlines points, or you're not earning like Marriott points or Holiday Inn points or that IHG, that kind of thing. You're earning Chase points or City points, but they are redeemable into airlines or hotels almost always 1 for 1 or sometimes 1 to 1.6. Like say if you're going into some of the hotel chains, one Amex point, let's just say, if you have an Amex point and it's a pure Amex point, when you go to move it over, it's not 1 to 1, it's 1.6. So 1,000 of those points gets you 1,600 hotel points, that kind of thing. So that's the way number 2. So you may not even need a co-branded card. The downside of those type of cards is that even though you can transfer into a whole bunch of different airlines and virtually every single hotel chain, if you don't remember to do it, your points will expire because you got to do a transaction. You got to get something in there to make a transaction to say, all right, well, this person just did a transaction. The expiry date now jumps out 1 year or 2 years or whatever their policy is. Number 3 is shopping portals. Now, American Airlines has this, United has this, few other airlines have this, a lot don't. Some of the hotel chains have that. You'd have to look for it. They have a shopping portal, it's kind of like going to Amazon, and in some ways, actually, they bounce into Amazon. Like you go through one portal and it puts you into another, and it's kind of like that Rakuten site where, if you go through them, you get some points of theirs, and, and they're earning somehow something. I don't know how they do it, but then it forwards you on to something where you actually buy it, and it might be Amazon or something else. Anyway, it's like an intermediary. And some of the airlines have that, some of the hotel chains have that. Let's say, as an example, you're a member of American Airlines and you're part of their Advantage program. You have a number, and that's all you have. You don't have a credit card, you have nothing else with them, okay? You can go to their portal. It's carrying your number, so they know it's you. If you buy something for 10 bucks, it's like, boom, you're going to get, I don't know, some sort of points for that. Maybe it's 10 points because you spent 10 bucks. But that's immaterial. What matters is you've just done something with your points. You've made a transaction, and therefore your expiry date, it jumps out into the future. Number 4 is sort of similar, and they're called dining portals. In addition to the shopping portal, again, American Airlines has this, I believe United has it. It's not super frequent, but some of them do it where there's a dining portal, in other words, a website, where let's say you're in Miami or New York or Los Angeles. You tell the portal, it's like ask, where are you? You put in a zip code and it starts showing you a whole bunch of restaurants all around, okay? And then what you do is you go in and you eat, you have something at one of those restaurants, and it registers you as spending money at that restaurant, and then that goes onto your points, and there's another transaction, and you're good. So dining portals are pretty cool too, very much like the shopping portal. The 5th one is something different. It's it's kind of weird to explain because it doesn't seem like, wow, is this real? It almost seems a little too good to be true. It's Bilt rewards, and this comes from Wells Fargo. And when I say Bilt, it's B-I-L-T, not B-U-I-L-T, like you're going to build something, okay? So it's Bilt rewards, and they have a credit card, and it's free, so there's no charge. So if you want to do what I'm describing with the credit card and keep things going, you don't have to pay that 95 or 100 bucks a year. This one's free. There's no annual fee, okay? And they got some other stuff that comes with it, like insurance when you're traveling, and and a bunch of other things. And you can go to the website and take a look at that. But what they do is they transfer their points, so you would earn Bilt points by using their credit card. So if you went out and, I don't know, bought a mattress for 400 bucks, let's just say, you're going to get some amount of points, 400, maybe it's double that. I don't know. I didn't actually look to see how many points you earn on things. But let's say it's usually 1-to-1, per dollar. So you'd get 400 points. Now you have 400 points that you could, if you wanted to, transfer that into like United or American Airlines. Again, there's the transaction on your account and everything gets pushed out. The other odd thing that they do, I mean, that's fairly normal, that there, but the other odd thing that they do, which is pretty cool, is let's say you don't have the Bilt card. You don't have a Chase Airline card. You don't have an American Airlines credit card. You have just a plain credit card. Maybe it's a Discover card. Do they even do those anymore? I think they got bought. But anyway, a card that's not affiliated with anything. It's just a bank that has nothing. You can register that credit card with Bilt rewards, and if you use that card and go to a restaurant that's part of their restaurant dining section, you can actually use it to pay for rent. Your rent might be $1,500 a month, which is, $3,000 every 2 months times 6. That's $18,000 a year, which is 18,000 points per year. You can be racking up a lot of points by not having any branded card whatsoever, but it's going through these Bilt rewards. And same thing, as you amass the points, they're getting higher and higher and higher. You get up to a point where you want to take a flight or you want to go to a hotel, you just move those over, you transfer them over to the airline, or you transfer them to a hotel that's part of this agreement. Like, not every single hotel is on there, but there's a bunch of chains. Now you're flying on points, or you're staying in a hotel on points, and you did not have the co-branded card. You didn't have an expensive card that you have to pay for in order to do everything that I've been describing all along. It's just the plain card, probably with no fee, that you've been using all along. So pretty cool. Lastly, I'll give you a bonus 6th one. I mean, this is sort of an obvious one, but a lot of times you don't think of it. I know we lost some points. Vivi lost some points, and we had to go back and get them. Luckily, they gave her back some of the points that she had. She had some Aeroplan points for flying. And all she had to do was just use the points. And you're like, well, what would you do? How do you do that if you don't have enough to book a flight? Well, almost always every airline and every hotel, when you go on and you want to, hey, use your points, they almost always have like gift cards. And if you could look for the cheapest gift card they have. Like maybe they have a $10 one. A lot of times they're $25. There's a $25 card for a certain amount of points. If you have that many points, just buy the card. Boom, there's your transaction, and everything gets pushed out, another year or 2 years. Again, depending on the policy. So anyway, if you're in that situation, I hope this helps you, think about it a little bit and like, oh, geez, I don't want to be, I got 15,000 points. I can't go anywhere for miles on an airline. I need another 10 to go somewhere, but I don't know when I'm going to ever do that extra 10, but I don't want these 15,000 to expire. Now's a way to get out of it and to just keep pushing them forward. Hope that helped. Hope you like watching the video, and we'll be doing another video pretty soon. We're kind of back in the saddle of doing these things again. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and until the next time, see ya.